Pixar is back in action. Not that they were ever gone. They really weren't. They weren't ever gone. But it's been a while, you know? So to go along with my review of Inside Out, I'm also going to be giving you a review of my experience going to the Fathom Events Insider edition of the screening of Inside Out. Now, you might have seen the hashtag over the weekend if you've been on Twitter a lot and you've been following Inside Out. Basically, they had a really big, cool event. So Fathom Events is a company that they take these big, events and they broadcast them through different theaters throughout the United States. So this was going on throughout the whole United States, and all you had to do to go and get tickets was actually buy tickets. I would like to say thank you to Fathom Events for putting this on, and Allied Entertainment for being able to give me some tickets to be able to give away to you, or at least those people who live in Nashville, Charlotte, or Raleigh. This was a really cool experience. First off, they give you swag, because what event is good unless you have a matching lanyard to go with it? None. And they also give you a cool poster, as you can see in the back. And the poster's really cool too. So, it's just one day only. What happened was the first section of to go along with the film was kind of like an insider scoop of Pixar. So they had the director and the producer running around the Steve Jobs animation building, giving us a tour. And that is a really cool thing because there's no photography allowed in there, first off. And second off, they don't give tours. But it was really great for everybody to get that opportunity. And this was a really cool way for them to highlight some of the upcoming events that are going to be happening with Pixar. So I'm going to be going pretty fast here and just reading through some of my notes that I made. So don't mind me. But just giving you, I want to make sure you guys know how cool this was. So they went in and they showed a little bit of what was going on at Pixar, all the different rooms, all the different departments. They did a really good job of giving a nod to all the animators, all the people behind the scenes, the people that we really respect here at the Rotoscopers. Everybody respects them. They just don't know they're there. So this one, the first movie that they kind of talked about was Finding Dory, which is going to be coming out. And they didn't give a lot of information about any of the movies that are coming out at all. They just talked to the different people behind it, which was cool because you're like, oh, hey. Yeah, they're on this movie. They're on this movie. Oh, let's talk a little bit about this movie. Not in details, but, just showing the process of making a movie and all the different movies that they have in the pipeline and which stages they're at the recording of this special bonus feature. Now, if you've read Creativity Inc., then it talks about how everybody's allowed to decorate their studio or decorate their office, and everybody's is so elaborate. Really elaborate. And I feel like everybody just tries to outdo one another. But it gets the creativity going, which is cool. So they did go through and they talked about some of the coolest offices that they had. And then they went into, I think what I would call the coolest office is the Lucky 7 Lounge. It's a normal office, but then there's a bust of Beethoven in the back, and you open up the head and you get to push a button and this secret door opens, and it's like a card playing, poker playing lounge, which is, it's really cool. They go all out. And when I say all out, I mean really all out, because this guy had his own poker chips made for his lounge. A+ on that one. Really cool. Then when they went to the production pod and they went through some of the screenings where they were doing dailies, and that's when they were talking a little bit more about The Good Dinosaur. And I really wanted to take this moment to publicly apologize to Peter Soon, because every time that I've done anything on The Good Dinosaur, I have incorrectly pronounced his name. I've always been saying Son. It's not Son, it's Soon. Peter Soon. I'm so sorry, Peter. Please forgive me. It will never happen again. Peter Soon. So they kind of showed a few shots of basically the dinosaur moving and coming up over a hill. And that's just cool. You get to see every shot every day is a little bit different, and they're just trying to really make it awesome. And then, of course, they go into John Lasseter's office, and you get to see all of the billion toys that he has everywhere. But he's not there. So oh, where's John? Where do we get it go? Oh my goodness. We know where he is. He's over talking about story as he's developing the story for Toy Story 4. So anyway, that was basically the whole beginning. It was very cool. I loved it because you got to talk to a lot of the different people behind the scenes, and it wasn't necessarily about the upfront, the people that you normally see. I really appreciate that. And so the next part of it just went in and the movie started. And so the first one is Lava. Lava, oh my gosh, the awe factor jumped up to 10. I mean, probably 11. It was so sweet, so cute. As far as the animation, beautiful as to be expected. And then also just, like I said, the awe factor, really cute. I love the Polynesian culture, and the song in it was just beautiful. Love it. So then we go into the actual film of Inside Out. And can I just say, this movie is something that you have to go see. Even if you're like not really a Pixar fan, even if you're not a Pixar fan, why are you watching this video? Seriously. My excitement level going into it was at a 10, and my excitement level coming out was at a 10. It was just like, wow, they did such a good job at kind of diving in, putting an image to, a lot of the ways on how we think different. I found myself thinking into just a different realm. I really did start thinking about, human nature, why we do certain things that we do. And it's a thinking movie. Aside from the fact that you have all the funny parts and you have all of these things that appeal to the 7-year-old in us all, but it also has the things that will appeal to me as an adult as I'm looking at these thinking, yeah, I totally can see, different points in my life where something like that happened to me. And I think that was what they did beautifully on this film. Now, if you want to know the full review of this film, we are actually going to be doing a full podcast on it coming out in about 2 weeks. So definitely check out the rotoscopers.com/98 when that comes out. Oh, so excited. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details with that. All you need to know is you just need to go see it. Okay? The music, as to be expected, was fantastic. The storyline was well developed. You had a lot of these different moments that made you think about you and made you think about, what's going on inside of you. But then there's also those moments is like, that's funny. They do a good job with the comic gags on that one. So definitely I really can't say that you should go see this movie enough because I got a lot out of it, and it's one of those that I would love to see again and be able to see what more I can get out of it. So after the movie was done, they had part 3 of the evening, and that was a live interview with Pete Docter, the director, and Amy Poehler, who is the voice of Joy. And that's where that hashtag that I mentioned earlier, where you were able to go in and ask questions to the director and Amy, and maybe get yours answered. They only did like 4 or 5 of them, but they had an actual interviewer there asking different questions, and it was really neat. I mean, they went in and he talked a little bit about some of the different iterations of how the story could have gone. So, for example, before they nailed down what the plot for Riley was on the outside as opposed to the inside, they actually had different things. It was a very small decision making. Like her whole decision was, I'm going to a party and I have to decide what chips to bring. And it sounds funny, but he said, it almost worked because for all these little decisions that we make throughout our lives, throughout our days, all of our emotions are involved in that. So I really enjoyed that type of input. All in all, I really enjoyed this event, and if you ever get the chance to go to one, I would take it, You could also win tickets to this if you're part of the Disney Movie Rewards or the Disney Movie Club. So there's a lot of different ways that they use to kind of, hype all of the other products that they do. But you were able to just straight up buy the tickets. Once again, if you want to see our full review, you have about 2 weeks to go see the movie, and we're going to be able to go in, dive deep. And Morgan Mason and I can't wait to talk to you guys on the podcast. Until next time, my name is Chelsea Robson, and you are watching the Rotoscopers YouTube.